On June 23rd, 2018, 12 boys and their soccer coach walked into a cave in Thailand, but wouldn't emerge for 18 days. What started as a fun team adventure quickly turned into one of the most dangerous and complicated rescues in history. This is the story of the Thai Cave Rescue. The boys were part of the Wild Boar soccer team aged 11 to 17, led by their 25-year-old coach, Ekapol Chantawang. After practice, they decided to explore Tam Luang, which is this massive cave system in northern Thailand near the Myanmar border. Now, this wasn't their first time exploring the caves. The boys and their coach, they regularly ventured Tam Luang, sometimes as far as 5 miles in. That day, they only planned on being inside the cave for an hour, but they had no idea what was coming. Then came the storm, baby. A sudden monsoon downpour flooded the cave's entrance. Water rushed in, sealing off the exit and forcing them deeper into the cage, searching for high ground. Now, here's the problem. This cave is one of the longest and most dangerous in Thailand, stretching over 10 kilometers with dead ends, narrow tunnels, and rising floodwaters. The boys scrambled deeper inside and eventually found a dry ledge known as Pattaya Beach. But there was no food, no fresh water, and only dim flashlights. Meanwhile, their families grew worried. They found the boys' bikes, backpacks, and soccer gears abandoned outside of the cave, and that immediately raised the alarm. Hours turned into days, and with no food, the boys survived by licking moisture from the cave walls. Oxygen levels dropped dangerously, from the normal 21% to as low as 15%, making it harder to breathe. Now, Coach Ekapol played a crucial role. Before becoming a soccer coach, he trained as a Buddhist monk. He taught the boys how to meditate, control their breathing, and conserve energy. Even in the darkness, they tried to stay hopeful. But outside, rescuers couldn't reach them. By now, the boys had been trapped for days, and no one knew if the boys were even alive. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. By now, the boys had been trapped for days, and no one knew if they were even still alive. The Thai Navy SEAL arrived first, but the water was too high and too murky to the point where even experienced divers couldn't make it past the first chambers. Fortunately, international help arrived. Over 10,000 people from 20 countries joined the rescue mission. Experts from the UK, the US, Australia, and China were called in. Engineers tried to pump water out from the cave, but it wasn't working fast enough. Then two British divers, John Valanthan and Rick Stanton, dived through the narrow flooded tunnels and they made a breakthrough. On July 2nd, 9 days after they went missing, the boys were found alive. What a relief. The first thing the boys asked was, "What day is it?" because they had no idea that they were trapped in the cave for over a week. Finding the boys was only half of the battle. The real challenge was trying to figure out how to get them out of the cave. Let's discuss the options. So, option one was to teach the boys how to dive. Now, that may be too dangerous because the boys may panic and drown. Option two was to find a shaft to drill. The rescuers had an idea to drill a shaft into the cave so they can try to reach the boys from above. Option three was to wait out monsoon season. That would take months and the oxygen would run out. Waiting definitely was not an option. But then a crazy idea came to mind. Put the boys to sleep and carry them out unconscious. This is Dr. Richard Harris. He's an Australian anesthesiologist and expert diver. He's the one who came up with this risky plan. Each boy would be injected with ketamine, keeping them completely unconscious to prevent panic. They would also wear a full face oxygen mask because if the water leaked inside, they'd drown instantly. Each boy was tied to a diver. Each boy was tied to a diver and carefully pulled through the narrow flooded tunnels. This was a 3-hour journey per person. The rescue mission began on July 8th. Four boys was rescued on day one, four more on day two. By July 10th, all 12 boys and their coach were rescued. By July 10th, all 12 boys and the coach were out, but not everyone survived. On July 6th, former Thai Navy SEAL Saman Ganan on July 6th, former Thai Navy SEAL Saman Ganan lost his life delivering oxygen tanks to the boys. Unfortunately, he ran out of air himself. A year later, another Navy SEAL by the name of Beirut Pagbara a year later, another Thai Navy SEAL by the name of Beirut Pagbara died from an infection contracted during the mission. Later, another SEAL by the name of Beirut Pagbara Later, another SEAL by the name of Beirut Pagbara died from an infection contracted during the mission. Later, another SEAL by the name of Beirut Pagbara contracted a blood infection during the rescue mission. He had been seeking medical he had been seeking medical treatments since the rescue mission, but his condition worsened after the infection got into his bloodstream. Unfortunately, he died from the infection contracted during the mission. Saman and Beirut's bravery saved 13 lives. After 18 days trapped in a cave, the boys miraculously survived. They were rushed to the hospital. They were rushed to the hospital suffering from malnourishment and exhaustion. Thankfully, there were no major injuries. The rescue was one of the most complex in history. 18 days in total darkness with little to no oxygen, no food, no fresh water. Oh my goodness. What took place in that flooded cave was more than just a rescue. It was a race against time, fear, and the impossible. Over 10,000 people from around the world. We're talking expert divers, engineers, doctors, and volunteers. They put everything on the line for one goal, and that's to bring the boys back home. And against all odds, baby, they did that. Over 10,000 people from around the world. We're talking expert divers, engineers, doctors, volunteers, and more. They put everything on the line for one goal, and that's to bring the boys back alive. And against all odds, baby, they did that.